Hello and welcome to my first ever vlog. This was a really last minute decision to start this vlog because this will be our last ever Christmas in this apartment that we have been in for the last 5 years, and I really wanted us to be able to capture our last few months here before we move into our house soon. And I'm just waiting for my husband to come home so we can start our Christmas tree decorating. For us, this is the most wonderful time of the year and I can't wait. He is out on a walk with a friend at the moment because here in Australia it is the most beautiful day in South Australia where we are, so he's making the most of that and he's going to come home with our Christmas tree, which we don't keep in our apartment because it is so small, and we do have a decent sized Christmas tree. So I'm just getting ready some of the other stuff before we go shopping to buy a couple more decorations. I know exactly what I want as long as they have it. I do quite a lot of research beforehand because, as you'll hopefully discover through this vlog, I like to have our Christmas tree tell a story. So we don't go crazy with too many decorations every year. We're just very specific about the ones that we buy and why we buy them. So while I am waiting for my husband to come home, I'll just explain to you what it is that we do with our Christmas tree. So when we first had our first Christmas together, we decided that every year we would each pick a set of Christmas tree decorations and we would put that on the tree. And every year we would add to that set. So we only buy maybe 4 decorations each that are just sort of a more affordable style decoration. Actually, I can show you our first ever decoration that we bought together. This was one of them, and this was the one that my husband picked out. That was his pick, our first ever decoration. It definitely needs a bit of a dust up before we put that on the tree. And so our first ever Christmas, we had a total of 8 decorations and a couple more extra ones, which I'll get to in a minute as well. And so we knew that our Christmas tree was going to be essentially this storytelling process in our life, and we would be able to build on it every single year. So that is the approach we take to our tree. It's definitely gotten a little bit more full over the last 5 years, but on top of the more affordable Christmas decorations that we buy, we actually also then buy some more sort of extra special ones that do cost a little bit more, but we use it as an opportunity to be grateful for something that happened in this last year gone that we really want to commemorate in some way, have a little gratitude moment for. And so a lot of our go-to brands for that are brands like Waterford, George Jensen, and I think it's Wedgwood that do the crystal ones as well. So they're just some of our favorites in that space. So I can show you some things, and some of the times this is a really nice occasion that we want to celebrate. Sometimes it is, maybe a not so nice thing, but we want to commemorate. For example, I will show you. This was a decoration that we got after my grandma passed away. And obviously that was a really, really difficult year, but we wanted to be able to take that moment just to remember her on our tree every single year. So we bought this Waterford beautiful, absolutely gorgeous decoration, and it is a ivy wreath, and my grandma's name was Ivy, so we thought that would be a really nice way to be able to just commemorate her every single year, take that moment to remember her as well. And then what we do every year too is that with these extra special ones, we will get them engraved as well. So this just has a date on there for when my grandma passed away, so we try and remember that on that particular decoration too. But then some of them will also be, you know, a lot more exciting occasions that we want to remember more. So for example, we have these beautiful George Jensen decorations too. So these were, I think this heart one was the year that we got engaged. So this was to commemorate our engagement. We got one for that. This was a big year, so we actually got this set and had a few different other things to celebrate. This I actually got online. It was a older George Jensen decoration. I got this when we became godparents to my niece, and so I wanted to get that little angel to commemorate that. We got this as our first ever Christmas together. This is another George Jensen one, and we got the little bell to commemorate our first Christmas in the apartment together too. So that is our approach that we take. We have also, to commemorate my dad passing away a couple years ago, we have this beautiful, another Waterford little cross here. They just do the most stunning decorations, and like I said, they're definitely not the cheapest decorations, but they're so beautiful, and so we do take that opportunity to make that an extra special gratitude moment. So we have a couple more things that I want to get for this year, just to commemorate some extra special things that have happened this year too. One of the main ones is that I want to get, I think it is a Waterford crystal, is it Waterford or Wedgford? I'll have to check. It's a crystal decoration, and they've done this beautiful origami collection, which I thought was so cool because we are actually, my husband and I are celebrating our first wedding anniversary this Christmas too, and the anniversary celebration for Christmas is paper. So I thought it would be a really nice way to celebrate our paper anniversary with the origami style ornament. So that's what I'm on the hunt for today when we go shopping. We'll get the usual sort of more standard ones. We'll pick a little set each, and yes, and we'll be ready to decorate our Christmas tree and see it go to that next level again this year. So we are going to go shopping in the city. So we live in the city here in South Australia, and so hopefully it's a beautiful day, so we might walk down, and we're setting up our Christmas tree a little bit later than we normally would. We would normally set it up in the closer to the end of November, but my husband was away on a holiday, and so we haven't been as early as we would normally be, but that is totally fine because our tree is actually up for quite a long time, because we get to celebrate 2 Christmases. We celebrate the 25th of December, the traditional Christmas. That's when I've always celebrated in my background, and then we get to also celebrate his Christmas. So we get to celebrate Serbian Orthodox Christmas too, which is in January. So we're a very lucky family in the sense that we get 2 Christmases to celebrate, and so our tree stays up for a little bit longer than most, but it is super exciting to be able to get into the Christmas tree spirit today and to be able to capture that for the first time as well. Okay, so I also just wanted to share, in case I forget to include this later on, this decoration here. This is a decoration, super simple, but something that I took from my family's Christmas tree. So growing up, we would always decorate the tree together. It was such a special moment for our family to be able to do that, and we would stick to normally the same sort of Christmas tree sets most of the time as well. And I loved it because I love, you know, the tradition of having, you know, things that you just remember year to year, as opposed to just buying lots of new things every year. And I just thought it would be so special when I had my first Christmas tree with my husband to be able to take one of the decorations that we used to have on our family tree and put that onto our tree as a family, and just to pass on that little tradition and that legacy. So it's always really special when I see this one. So let's go shopping. Back from our day of shopping that took so much longer than we thought. It is much later into the evening than we had expected. We were so tired from all the walking that we did today in the city. So it is now time to set up the tree. But before we get into that, I wanted to show you what I have bought today, the decorations that we purchased for the tree. So let's have a look. So I really wanted us to add a little bit more sparkle to the tree this year, and I really wanted this year in particular to add a little bit more gold. I just wanted that to be a bit more of a theme. So we have this beautiful piece, so I have a few of those. This year we also wanted to add some branches to the tree, and I had gone to get something different and unexpectedly found these, which match the baubles as well. So they were both two unexpected finds, not what I was going for, but much better than what I actually imagined. So as you can see, that is quite sparkly. So hoping that looks really beautiful on the tree as well. And then those extra special decorations that I wanted to get, they were both actually Waterford, the crystal and the gold that I wanted us to get. This is the gold one that we got today. This beautiful key, which I thought was just so pretty, and you can't tell so much on camera, but it actually is a lot bigger in real life than what I actually thought it would be. I thought it would be the size of sort of a normal size key, but it is actually a really nice size. So don't know if you can tell from that, but yeah, it's a really beautiful one. So super excited about that one. And then, as I mentioned too, I really wanted us to be able to celebrate the paper anniversary of our 1 year anniversary, which is next week, our wedding anniversary. So that is paper, and so that is why I wanted us to get the paper plane, which is part of the origami set that Waterford have done. And here is the paper plane. Again, I was super impressed with actually how big this is. When you see it in real life, it doesn't look that big on the camera again, but it actually is a really decent size. So for those ones being a lot more expensive than some of our regular decorations, I was really happy to be getting a little bit more out of that one. So really excited to be adding those two extra special ones to the tree this year. Now I am going to slip into something a little bit more festive while my husband has ducked out for a minute, and then we're going to get into the Christmas tree decorating.